serve as the structural framework for the functioning of most societies and have a wide range of responsibilities. While there are many types of governments, they are concerned about similar national issues from the economy to education to defense to health. Outside of the government itself, so many other groups influence society. This includes corporations, the media, nonprofits, clinics, lobbying groups, and the people themselves. These groups have a lot of influence, but instead of representing a particular country or state or physical area, they often go beyond borders and represent a set of values or an ideology. As a result, these groups are called non-state actors because they are separate from governments or states. Even though these non-state actors aren't affiliated with, directed by, or funded through the government, they have a lot of power to facilitate change. Keep in mind that a non-state actor in one country may actually be controlled by the government in a different country. However, while non-state actors can be influenced by the government, they still have their own agendas. This can be clearly illustrated through the role played by non-state actors in various social movements. A social movement is when a group of people and/or organizations work towards a common goal. This goal is oriented around social change over a long period of time. Often, the social movement doesn't come from within the government, but rather outside of the government, and this is where the non-state actors come in. Unfortunately, things aren't always straightforward. Sometimes the non-state actor involved is working with the social movement to promote change. Other times, the non-state actor is what the people of a particular social movement are demanding action against. We will look at various examples around the world of both of these cases. In Tunisia, on December 17, 2010, 26-year-old street vendor Mohamed Bouazizi went to the municipal government and attempted to meet with an official following a physical confrontation with the police. He was turned away with vague excuses. Bouazizi returned to the front of the building later that day, doused himself in gasoline, and set himself on fire. Bouazizi became, in the eyes of many, a martyr. Protests began in Bouazizi's hometown, Sidi Bouzid, and to the shock of many, gathered momentum. Tunisians took to the streets with their frustrations about high unemployment, food inflation, corruption, a lack of political freedom, poor living conditions, and demanded change. At first, these demonstrators were largely ignored by the media. Nonetheless, the movement spread beyond Sidi Bouzid in large part thanks to Facebook. As one of the few video sharing sites not censored by the Tunisian government, protesters relied heavily on Facebook to communicate and share information. On January 14th, the President Ben Ali dissolved his government and fled to Saudi Arabia. Widespread uncertainty followed this. The newly established Constituent Assembly of Tunisia was unable to craft and ratify a new constitution within the one-year established timeline. On August 6, 2013, after the assassination of leftist assembly member Mohamed Brahmi and subsequent resignation of 42 assembly members, the assembly ceased to function. In light of the steadily deteriorating environment, the Tunisian General Labor Unit, UGTT, called for negotiations between the parties in power and the opposition. Moreover, in conjunction with the Tunisian Confederation of Industry, Trade, and Handicrafts, the Tunisian Order of Lawyers, and the Tunisian Human Rights League, the UGTT established the Tunisian National Dialogue Quartet to act as the voice of civil society. The political parties consented to oversight with the Tunisian National Dialogue Quartet, which played an active role in the ensuing discussions. On January 26, 2014, the Constituent Assembly adopted a new constitution. Today, Tunisia is heralded as a success story. It is the only Arab Spring country that secured a transition to democracy. In 2015, the Tunisian National Dialogue Quartet was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for its work in the establishment of a pluralistic democracy. However, Tunisia still grapples with the wounds of its past. Revolution is not easy. Recent government crackdowns, arbitrary arrests, and political infighting stirs fear of, and for some longing for, the pre-2010 landscape. In summary, Tunisia is seen as the starting point for the Arab Spring, the name for a series of protests and demonstrations in the Middle East and North Africa. These uprisings fought against oppression and low standards of living. In Tunisia, these protests led to the country being in the state of emergency for 3 years. Eventually, thanks to open dialogue facilitated by the Tunisian National Dialogue Quartet, Tunisia finally transitioned to democracy, but the country still faces an uncertain future.